Morning everyone, and welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we discuss all things entrepreneurship and running. It is a very cold morning. Feels like temperature is -4 degrees, so hopefully not too much breeze though, but very wintry running conditions. And it's Tuesday Tactics today, where I discuss all things business systems and outsourcing, stuff that you can implement into your business and hopefully make a difference. And today's topic is the cycle of business. Hopefully it's quite an interesting one. So as always, if you like this episode, please give it a like and a subscribe, and let's get started. So, the cycle of business. Well, this kind of comes from the term the cycle of life, and I think it's the business life cycle. I suppose it's probably an easier way to describe it. And before I continue, you've probably seen me running with some really weird technique this morning. Well, it is basically like running on ice. So, and of course I run barefoot, I get very little grip, so or barefoot style. So I'm having to run really small steps today to try and keep my traction and to make sure I don't slip over, because I don't want to be slipping over on this ground today, because it is rock hard. The car coming past me, so just bear with me a second. So the cycle of business, or the business life cycle, whatever you want to call it, it's quite simple really, but it was something, this isn't really it's a little bit off topic today, because normally I talk to you about kind of tangible things you can actually implement into your kind of daily lives in your business. So stuff that you're going to implement as a system or a process, or something that is going to be, you'll be able to implement and make a difference to the day-to-day lives. Well, this is it's a little bit more mindset really, but it's really relevant with businesses. And I think when you understand this, it will help you decide kind of the next steps in your business for kind of what you need to do to get to the next stage. And ultimately, if it doesn't work out, it's not the be all and end all. And I think that's really important. It's just to keep you going, because entrepreneurship is a journey. You know, it's hard. There's very few people start their very first business and make it. Okay, very few people. Okay, a lot of people try and tell you they do, but very few people did. Most people have tried in many different ways or facets and failed, and probably only succeeded on after several attempts. And this is where this analogy comes really useful. So there's 4 stages in this cycle. Sorry, it's really icy here. The 4 stages in the cycle is, stage number 1 is start up. Stage number 2 is grow up. Stage number 3 is scale up. And stage number 4 is fail. Okay, so it doesn't go up in that order. You can hit 4 or sort of stage 4, whatever. But the thing I want you to understand here is the analogy of, you know, if you're on a unicycle, okay, you've only got one wheel. Okay, it's very precarious. You don't have a lot of experience to draw on. If you've got a bicycle or a motorcycle, you've got 2 wheels. Okay, a little bit more stable, a little bit more nimble. However, it's again, still, you know, if you stand still, you've got to put your feet down to support you. Okay, without falling over. If you've got a Robin Reliant or a trike, you've got 3 wheels. Okay, so again, more stable than a bike or a motorcycle. But again, if you watch things like Only Fools and Horses and give my age away now, the old Mr. Bean gag where he would always move the Robin Reliant with his Mini, who was parking into a space, because it's not as robust, not as secure, not as a normal car. So again, 3 wheels is better than 2, but when you go 4 wheels, it's the car. You know, you've then got lots and lots of kind of structural support. It's far more rigid, far less likely to kind of fall over. And then you can go 5 wheels and above. You can start getting into kind of, you know, trains and lorries and trucks and things like that are even more stable and secure. And the argument here is the more wheels you have in business, so the more time you've been around these wheels, it's like a badge of honour. The more you have, so the more failures you have, the more secure and stable, hence the stronger the likelihood of you succeeding in the future. You've got a more stable base. When you first start, you haven't even got a wheel, so you're teetering on the edge constantly. But when you failed 4 or 5 times, you've made those mistakes that have meant you failed those 4 or 5 times, which hopefully you've learned from. You're not going to make those same mistakes in the next business, which further enhances the likelihood that your business is going to succeed. And there's a reason why, and I think the stats are obviously backed up with 1 in 10 businesses will last the test of time. So it's a pretty low stat, really, that incredibly low stat that 1 out of every 10 businesses is going to fail, basically, which is a damning statistic. But I think there's a lot of that is in learning experiences with entrepreneurs finding their feet. I think once they've generally found their feet, the likelihood of them creating a business which is going to survive is significantly higher. Now, I don't know what the statistics are there, but I'm just going from my own personal experience and people I know. But I would say it's significantly higher. It's so much so that I've had so many failures. So if I was going to look at how many wheels that I've got, I've probably got, looking back at the years, maybe I'm almost like a tank. I've had that many failures. So when I'm talking a tank, caterpillar wheels are made up of multiple wheels, so on each side. So I'm definitely in that league. I've made so many different failures, but it's given me the foundation now to be really confident when I start something new, that I know what it takes to succeed, and I know what it takes to kind of get there. And I think that's something that people need to realise. So as an entrepreneur, it can be a really rocky ride, but when you understand the business life cycle, or the importance of wheels on your business or your entrepreneurship vehicle, which is a good analogy. Also, your entrepreneurship is the vehicle. Okay, if you're on a unicycle and you have a punch, you have to break down. You might say, I'm going to build it up to a bike, and you made it more stable. You go again. You put another wheel on. You go again. And I think that's a really good analogy for the journey of an entrepreneur, and it stuck with me when I heard this analogy given to me. I can't remember, otherwise I'd reference the person who I heard it from. I think it was on a random podcast, someone I hadn't heard of before, but it was a really good analogy for the journey of an entrepreneur and the importance of failure. I mean, that's ultimately what we're talking about here. You learn a lot more in your failures than you do from your successes, and so much so that Russell Brunson talks about this a lot in his podcast about the cycle, the cycling in business, and it's a similar principle of what we're talking about here. But he says that he knows people that categorically will not invest in anybody unless they've cycled at least once. And what they mean by that is they've got at least one wheel, so that they've had a business and it's failed. Because like I say, the likelihood of a brand new business with an entrepreneur who's got no previous business experience of succeeding is, well, 10%, probably less than 10%, because I reckon that statistic is only that because it's the average, and you've obviously got a lot of entrepreneurs there who've got a lot of experience that might bring that average up to kind of 10%. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to tell you today. But it's something that when you're going through tough times, when things aren't going to plan, just drawing yourself upon this analogy and understanding that you as an entrepreneur are building a vehicle to succeed on your journey. Okay, and you don't have all the parts, you don't have everything you need to begin with, but you build it and it breaks down. You then have to build it again and it breaks down. You build it again and eventually you build something that will last the test and will get you to your destination or get you to your goal. And what I mean here is that, some people have different ambitions as entrepreneurs. Some people want worldwide domination. Other people, like myself, want lifestyle. I don't want worldwide domination. I want to help as many as I can, but as long as it fits in with my life and gives me the things that I want out of my life, then that's what I'm looking to achieve. So, I think I said when I started this, if I could get to kind of 25 grand a month income consistently, then that's going to give me everything and above what I need. It's all about providing legacy for my family and my future generations, and also allowing us to live a life that we enjoy. And that sounds like a lot of money, I know, but a lot of that would be used to secure my family's future in the future generations. I live a pretty simple life, actually. I'm not hugely materialistic or any of those sides of things, but some people are, which is absolutely fine. But the point I'm making, I know very much so where we are in our journey, and I know that of the 6 businesses I've got now, I've got kind of one that's grown up. That's my property business. I'm not scaling that up. I don't want to move that to the next stage. Okay, my property business is grown up. It's established. It's ticking over nicely. I could push it into scale up, but I find that there's too much risk there associated with that. We're in deal sourcing business. It's a startup. However you slice and dice it, we've had some pretty quick success with it, but it needs to grow up. There's a lot of inefficiencies that we need to iron out. Same with the education company. A lot of my businesses are at kind of a startup phase, and that's a risky phase to be in, but I've been in that phase so many times that I know certain things that have worked to get a business to grow up. So scaling up is a real challenge, but my online businesses I will want to scale up, because I know that that's a more scalable model than running bricks and mortar with a quite high level of personnel resource that's required with it. That's what I want to avoid. But I'm digressing a little bit here and just waffling now, so I'm going to try and draw this to a bit of a close. So if I was going to summarise the business life cycle, or the business cycle, or the cycle of business, whatever you want to call it, entrepreneurship is the vehicle. You're trying to build a vehicle to take you on a journey. That's entrepreneurship, and the business is the vehicle. And the more kind of stability that vehicle has in terms of wheels, or to kind of get it moving to the next stage, the more likelihood of that business succeeding. So understand the importance of your failures. You learn far more in your failures than you ever do in your successes. So try and enjoy them. As long as you mitigate the big financial risk associated with them, learn from them. The world is about testing, measuring, analysing and iterating. That's ultimately what we do every day. We're capturing data, we're assessing that data, and then we're changing our actions based on that data to get a better result. We do that in every single thing in life. So hopefully that again is something that's going to help you. So that's all I'm going to say today. So as always, if you've got any questions and stuff, drop me a comment. I'll respond to everyone. If it's a bigger topic, I'll still respond. I'll do a separate vlog episode and tag you in. If this is irrelevant to you, no problem, just unfollow me. You don't have to unfriend me. Just unfollowing me will stop it cluttering up your social feeds. But before you do that, do check out the YouTube Runpreneur channel, whereby I do a different topic on every day of the week. So just because today's topic isn't relevant, there might be some other days that are super relevant for you. So check that out. It's all nicely catalogued by playlist, so you can watch stuff that's just relevant to you completely free. Also, check out the links in my bios, where I've got all of the my free resources hosted. The first one that's just been released is my 70-step checklist to content repurposing, reformatting and optimising across all social channels. So if you are looking to get more content out there across all the platforms in a more efficient and effective way, then do check out that resource, and hopefully that will help you on your way completely free. So that's it for me today. All I have to say is that this vlog was set up to help entrepreneurs and business owners overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise, or in my case running, as a release mechanism to kind of control and manage these emotions and learn to thrive under them rather than to fail under them. And it's every single person in the world experiences these emotions, and it's often the people that are the most successful, the ones that deal with it most effectively. So the ones that deal with it well have their own unique release mechanisms to enable to release that pressure when it gets too much. The ones that don't, the pressure just builds and builds and builds in the form of stress that then evolves to overwhelm, that then turns to anxiety, and you get too much pressure in a pipe, it bursts. And that's the same case here. Too much pressure and one of two things will happen: the entrepreneur will break, or the business will break down, both of which can often be terminal to the likelihood of your business lasting the test of time. Now, I'm super passionate about this because, as I've just discussed in this episode, I've had so many failures in my business career, in my journey as an entrepreneur, and I've lost multiple businesses, multiple business partners. I've almost been bankrupt because of this, and it's a horrible, horrible, dark place to be. And I always said that if I could just help one business owner or one business, survive via this blog, then it's 1,000,000% worthwhile. So my pledge to you guys is that, and I've done this already, if you are struggling with this and you're struggling how to cope with the pressures and stresses, drop me a message. Let's jump on a call. There's no catch here at all, no sale, no obligation for anything. I just want to give you a helping hand because I'm so passionate about people not going to the same place that I've been. And I'll give you a few simple steps that you can implement into your daily lives that, if taken seriously, hopefully make a big difference. And there's a few entrepreneurs who've taken me up on this already and hopefully making really positive strides in their lives since that conversation, and that's good enough for me. So don't be stubborn. If you are one of these people, reach out and let's jump on a call. So that's it for me today. As always, if you like this episode, please give it a like, a comment and a subscribe. If you want to see similar episodes, please check out my playlist link in the YouTube channel. And I'll leave you as always with stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.